In the quiet blackness of space, a red light blinked on a large screen inside the Galactic Council's main chamber. The message was clear. Another planet had fallen. The cause? A creature like no other, huge, wild, strong, with wings wider than any ship and fire that could melt steel. It was called Xeric. No one knew where Xeric had come from. Some said it was born from a black hole. Others believed it was once a peaceful creature, turned into a monster by unknown science. But now, it was known across the galaxy by one name, the mutant dragon. Xeric did not speak. It did not ask for anything. It simply appeared on planets, roared loud enough to shake the sky, and destroyed everything in its path. Entire cities were gone in minutes, crops burned, spaceports crushed. People ran, but they could never run fast enough. The Galactic Council had no choice. "The threat is too great," said Council Leader Vanna, her silver robe shining in the council lights. "We must give the death order." Many council members nodded. Some looked away, but no one disagreed. The vote passed in seconds. The dragon was now sanctioned to death. Every bounty hunter, every military ship, and every robot army was given the green light to attack. Far away from the shining worlds of the council, there was a small repair station floating near an asteroid field. It was old and rusty, forgotten by most of the galaxy, but it was home to a human mechanic named Ben. Ben was not a soldier. He didn't fly big ships or fight monsters. He fixed broken machines, engines, doors, wires, and panels. That was his life. He lived alone on the station, except for an old helper robot named Chip, who was more talk than help. On this day, Ben was inside a dusty hangar, fixing a broken drone when the news came through the radio. "Breaking update," said the voice. "Xeric has destroyed Delta 4, leaving no survivors. The Galactic Council has now given full permission for the creature's termination." Ben wiped his hands with a rag and frowned. He walked over to the radio and turned up the volume. "The death sanction has been sent to all systems," the voice continued. "Xeric is now the most wanted being in the galaxy." Ben didn't speak for a while. He just stared at the small photo stuck to the wall beside the radio, picture of a green planet with 3 suns. It was called Alara, his home planet. Xeric had attacked it a year ago. Ben had lost everything. But even after all that, something didn't sit right with him. "I don't know," Ben muttered. "Something's off." Chip rolled closer, his head spinning. "Off?" "Ben, a 10-ton fire dragon is burning planets." "What's off about that?" Ben sighed. "I saw the recordings from Alara. Yes, Xeric destroyed the city. But the way it moved, it looked like it was in pain. Not angry, not evil, just hurting." Chip made a confused beep. "Pain? You think a space dragon is sad, Ben? Maybe you've been breathing too much coolant." Ben didn't laugh. "I fix machines, Chip. I know when something's not working right. That dragon, it had something strange on its back, like metal and wires. What if it's being controlled?" Chip rolled back, shaking his head. "Even if you're right, what can you do? They've sent warships after it. It's as good as gone." Ben walked over to a large metal box and opened it. Inside were tools, old ship parts, and a data pad with research files. "I'm not sure yet," Ben said, "but I'm not going to sit here and do nothing." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, fleets began to move. Bounty hunters polished their weapons. Warships set their course. Giant machines warmed up their cannons. Everyone wanted to be the one to bring down the dragon. In a deep, dark part of space, Xeric floated quietly near a cold moon, its wings folded in, its glowing eyes dim. The metal pieces on its back buzzed and sparked. Strange blue lights blinked. Under its scales, the dragon growled softly, not in anger, but in pain. It scratched at its side with a claw, hitting one of the metal implants. Sparks flew, and Xeric flinched. Something inside it was not right. Something was broken. But no one cared. No one stopped to ask. They only saw the fire, the fear, and the destruction. They only saw a monster. And now, they were coming to end it. Back on the repair station, Ben packed his things. He didn't have weapons or armor, But he had tools. He had knowledge. And most of all, he had a gut feeling that something was very wrong. "I'm going after it," he said firmly. Chip beeped in shock. "To do what? Get roasted?" "No," Ben said. "To fix what others broke." He looked out the window at the stars, where ships were flying fast, full of weapons and hate. "I don't think Zarek needs to die," Ben whispered. "I think it needs help." And with that, he climbed into his old repair ship, set the course, and began the journey. One human, one dragon, and a galaxy ready for war. Ben's small ship moved silently through space. The stars outside glowed like tiny lamps in the dark. His heart beat fast. He was not a fighter. He was just a mechanic, used to fixing engines and machines, not hunting dragons. But this was different. Zarek was not just a dangerous creature. Ben believed it was suffering, and he wanted to help. The repair station behind him grew smaller as he traveled toward the last known location of Zarek. According to the Galactic Council, Zarek had been caught near the cold moon called Kara, where it had fallen into a trap. Ben looked at the controls carefully. The ship was old but strong. It had no weapons, no shields, only tools and parts. "I hope this is enough," Ben said softly to Chip. Chip beeped and clicked. "If you wanted a warship, you should have said, 'This thing barely flies.'" Ben smiled a little. "It flies. That's what matters." When Ben arrived near Kara, the scene was quiet but tense. Military ships hovered in a tight circle, their weapons aimed at a large containment field. Inside, Zarek stood. The dragon looked exhausted. Its wings drooped. Sparks from the metal parts on its back flickered weakly. Soldiers on their ships watched carefully, waiting for the council's order to fire. Ben took a deep breath. He knew he would not get many chances. He contacted the military commander. "This is Ben, a mechanic from Station Alpha 7. I request permission to approach the containment field." There was a long silence. Then, a voice replied, cold and sharp. "Permission denied. Zarek is too dangerous. We have orders to terminate on sight." Ben didn't expect anything else. He sighed. Understood. But then, an idea came to him. "I will not attack," Ben said firmly. "I only want to inspect the implants on Zarok's back. If I can help, it may end the danger faster." The commander hesitated. Finally, the voice said, "1 hour. If you fail, you will be removed by force." Ben nodded. "Thank you." Ben prepared for the most unusual job of his life. He wore a light suit designed for spacewalks. He grabbed his toolkit, everything he might need to repair or disable the implants. As he left his ship, floating toward the containment field, he saw Zarek up close for the first time. The dragon was massive. Its scales were dark with red patterns that looked like flames. The metal parts on its back were cold and mechanical, wires running under the skin like veins. Zarok's eyes opened slowly. They were deep gold but tired. Ben felt no fear. He spoke softly. "I'm not here to hurt you." The dragon watched him carefully but made no move to attack. Inside the field, Ben carefully studied the implants. They were strange machines, unlike anything he had seen before. Small lights blinked on and off, and the wires pulsed with energy. Ben's fingers moved gently, adjusting wires, checking connections. Suddenly, one implant sparked and sent a small shock through the dragon's spine. Zarek hissed and twisted, clearly in pain. Ben froze. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't mean to hurt you." Zarek calmed after a moment, but Ben knew the dragon was suffering. He worked carefully, using his tools to fix broken parts and disconnect harmful circuits. As he worked, he noticed something else, a small device hidden deep under Zarok's scales. It was a controlled chip. Ben realized the implants were controlling Zarok's mind, forcing aggression and pain. The truth hit him hard. Zarek was not a wild monster. It was a prisoner. Someone had trapped it with machines and made it fight. Ben whispered, "Who did this to you?" Zarek growled softly but did not answer. It seemed to understand Ben's kindness. Suddenly, alarms sounded on the military ships outside. "Ben." The commander's voice was urgent. "Your time is up. Return now." Ben looked up at Zarek. The dragon seemed weaker but calm. I need more time, Ben said. If you attack me now, I can't help. The commander's voice was cold. You have 30 seconds. Ben stood up, then made a quick decision. I'm taking Zarek with me. There was silence. Are you insane? The commander asked. No, Ben replied. I'm saving a life. Ben used a small device from his kit to open the containment field. Zarok's eyes widened in surprise. Ben gestured for Zarek to follow him. The dragon moved slowly, unsure but trusting. Outside the field, alarms blared. Soldiers prepared weapons. Ben ran to his ship, Zarek close behind. The escape was not easy. Zarok's metal implants still sent shocks, and the dragon was weak. But with Ben's help, Zarek flew into the ship's hangar just before the military ships fired warning shots. The hangar doors closed fast, blocking the lasers. Ben rushed to a control panel and activated the ship's engines. As the ship rose into space, Ben looked at Zarek. The dragon was breathing hard but safe. Ben smiled. This is only the beginning, he said. Inside the ship, Ben began examining the implants again. He worked through the night, carefully removing damaged wires and fixing broken circuits. Zarek watched quietly. The pain seemed to lessen. Ben felt hope. If he could fix Zarek, maybe the dragon would no longer be a threat. Maybe the galaxy had judged too quickly. But Ben knew they were not safe yet. The corrupt group controlling Zarek would not give up. The Galactic Council might send more ships, and Zarek might still be dangerous if the implants were not fully removed. As the ship moved farther from Kara, Ben made a promise. I will find out who did this to you, he said softly, and I will make things right. The small ship carried Ben and Zarek away from Kara's cold moon. The stars outside were quiet and still, but inside the ship, tension filled the air. Zarek lay on the floor of the hangar, its great wings folded and its heavy body resting. The implants on its back flickered with weak blue light, but Ben could see the pain slowly fading from the dragon's eyes. Ben sat nearby, watching the strange creature he had just saved. His hands trembled slightly, not from fear but from the weight of what he had done. He had taken a dangerous being away from the law. Now, he was a fugitive. But Ben believed in one thing. Zarek was not a monster. Hours passed. The ship's hum was the only sound. Ben was busy working on the control panel, trying to access more data from the implants. He hoped to find clues about who had put the machines on Zarok's back. As he worked, Zarek slowly opened its eyes and lifted its massive head. The dragon's golden eyes looked directly at Ben. Ben smiled gently. Hello, Zarek. I'm Ben, he said. I'm not here to hurt you. Zarek watched him silently, breathing slowly. It made a soft rumbling sound, something like a sigh. Ben took this as a sign of trust. Ben carefully reached out a hand toward Zarok's head. The dragon flinched, but did not move away. Ben's fingers touched the rough scales. It's okay, Ben said softly. I want to help you. Zarok's tail moved slightly, brushing against the floor. For the first time, Ben felt a connection between them, not just mechanic and machine, or human and dragon, but something deeper. Ben spent the next few hours studying the implants. The machines were very advanced, far beyond anything Ben had seen in his repair work. He realized the implants had two parts, one that controlled Zarok's movements and emotions, and another that kept the dragon in pain when it tried to resist. Someone is using these implants like chains, Ben whispered. He tapped his fingers on the console. Who would do this, and why? Suddenly, a signal came from outside the ship. Ben jumped up and checked the screen. It was a message from the Galactic Council. Attention. The message said, Zarek is a dangerous threat. All ships are to assist in capture or termination. Fugitive ship detected near Kara system. Identify and surrender immediately. Ben's heart raced. He knew the Council did not understand what he had found. To them, Zarek was still the enemy. Ben quickly turned off the message and faced Zarek. We need to hide, he said. They are looking for us. Ben began to pilot the ship toward a nearby asteroid field. The rocky walls and narrow spaces would help them avoid detection. As the ship moved into the field, Ben noticed Zarok's breathing growing stronger. The pain seemed to lessen as the implants lost power. Ben smiled. "You're healing," he said. "Good." While flying through the asteroids, Ben used his tools to work on the implants again, slowly. Carefully, he disconnected wires and removed. Broken parts. Zarok stayed still, trusting Ben completely, for the first time. Ben saw the dragon not as a weapon or a monster, but as a living being. Suddenly, the ship's alarm beeped. "Contact," Chip said. Ben looked at the screen. A small scout ship was approaching fast. Ben's fingers moved quickly. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers." The scout ship sent a message. "This is Captain Ren of the Galactic Patrol. You are ordered to stop and prepare for inspection." Ben shook his head. "Not now." He pushed the controls and dodged the asteroids. The scout ship followed, firing warning shots. Ben made a quick decision. "We can't outrun them," he said. "We need a plan." He looked at Zarok. "Can you help me?" The dragon lifted its massive head and let out a low growl. Ben nodded. "Good. When I say, you will roar to scare them." The scout ship closed in. Ben opened the hangar doors just a little. Zarok's wings unfolded slowly. The dragon rose, towering in the small space, with a deep breath. Zarok let out a loud roar that shook the ship. The scout ship backed away quickly. "Captain." Ren's voice came over the radio, trembling. "You. What is that thing?" "Stand down or we will open fire." Ben smiled, feeling brave. "This is Zarok. He is not here to fight." Ben quickly closed the hangar doors and locked them. "Now, we fly away." Zarok folded its wings and lay down again. Ben piloted the ship through the asteroid field at high speed. After escaping the scout ship, Ben set a course for an old, forgotten planet called Mirror 3. It was a quiet place, full of dense forests and deep caves, a perfect place to hide and work on Zarok. As the ship moved toward Mirror 3, Ben looked at Zarok and said, "You're safe with me." Zarok's golden eyes met his for the first time. Ben felt hope not just for himself, but for the dragon and maybe the whole galaxy. On Mirror 3, Ben landed the ship in a hidden valley surrounded by tall trees. He opened the hangar and helped Zarok out. The dragon's feet touched the soft ground. It looked calm. Ben smiled. "This is your new home for now." Ben spent days exploring the implants and researching the strange technology. He sent secret messages to old friends and fellow mechanics, hoping to find anyone who knew about the machines controlling Zarok. But so far, there was no answer. Ben knew time was running out. The Galactic Council would not stop hunting Zarok, but Ben was determined. He would protect Zarok, no matter what. One evening, Ben sat near a campfire, watching Zarok sleep. The dragon's breathing was steady and peaceful. Ben whispered, "We'll find the truth, I promise." And under the stars of Mirror 3, a human mechanic and an alien dragon began a friendship that could change the galaxy forever. The forest of Mirror 3 was calm and quiet. Tall trees reached the sky, and gentle winds moved through the leaves. Birds sang far away, and the sun shone softly through the branches. It was a peaceful place, far from the noisy spaceships and flashing lights of the Galactic Council. For Ben, this peace was a chance to think and plan. He sat outside his small shelter, studying the implants he had removed from Zarok. The strange machines were unlike anything he had ever seen, with glowing wires and tiny circuits. Who made these? Ben wondered aloud. And why? The question stayed in his mind like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Ben worked day and night, with the help of his old tools and the datapad he had saved from the repair station. He began to search for clues. The implant's design was too advanced for most planets, but the patterns reminded him of a secret group he had heard about, a powerful faction known as the Dominion. The Dominion was known for controlling technology and power across many systems. They were secretive, with shadowy agents everywhere. Some said they used fear to rule, but no one knew their full plan. Ben's fingers moved quickly as he connected the datapad to the implants. Slowly, hidden files and codes appeared. His eyes widened. The implants were made by the Dominion. Ben took a deep breath. "This changes everything," he said. If the Dominion was behind Zarok's implants, then the Galactic Council had been lied to. Zarek was not a monster on its own, it was a victim of a bigger plan. Ben's mind raced. He had to tell someone. But who would believe a mechanic against the powerful Council and the Dominion? Meanwhile, Zarek rested nearby. The dragon's breathing was calm now. The pain from the implants was almost gone. But Ben could see the creature was still wary and tired. Ben walked over and touched Zarok's scales gently. "I'm working on it," he said softly. "We will find the truth." Zarek blinked slowly, as if understanding. Ben knew he could not stay hidden forever. The Dominion was powerful and dangerous. If they wanted Zarek back, they would come looking. To prepare, Ben began making plans to protect Zarek. He repaired his ship, added new tools, and created secret defenses around the valley. He also sent coded messages to old friends, hoping for help, but answers were slow. One night, as Ben studied the implants by the campfire, the sky suddenly flashed with light. Ben looked up and saw several small ships approaching quickly. "It's them," he said quietly. The Dominion's agents had found them. Ben hurried to wake Zarek. "We have to move," he said. Zarek stood, stretching its wings. The dragon's golden eyes burned with quiet strength. Ben and Zarek climbed into the ship. Ben started the engines, but the small ships blocked the way. "They want Zarek back," Ben said. Zarek growled low in response. Ben looked at the control panel. "We can't fight them all. We need a plan." The Dominion ships began to fire small energy blasts, trying to damage Ben's ship. Ben flew carefully, dodging the attacks through the trees and rocks of Mira 3. Zarek used its wings to help push the ship faster, giving Ben extra speed. Together, they escaped the immediate danger. After escaping, Ben landed on a hidden asteroid base known only to a few trusted friends. He hoped it would be a safe place to repair the ship and plan the next steps. The base was quiet, but Ben knew the fight was far from over. He looked at Zarek. "We need to stop the Dominion." Ben said. "Za are okay," growled softly. As if agreeing, Ben spent days gathering information about the Dominion's plans. He discovered they wanted to use creatures like Zarek to control the galaxy through fear. Their machines forced powerful beings to obey, turning them into weapons. Ben's heart ached. "They are monsters," he whispered. "With the help of old allies." Ben prepared a message for the Galactic Council. He knew many would not listen, but the truth had to be told. Zarek stood by his side, a symbol of strength and hope. Together, they were ready to face the coming storm. As the stars shone above, Ben and Zarek prepared for the fight to come. The galaxy's future depended on them, and the hidden enemy would soon learn that even the smallest human could change everything. Ben stared at the glowing screen in front of him. The message he had prepared was ready to be sent to the Galactic Council. It contained everything he had learned about the Dominion's control over Zarek and other creatures, proof that the dragon was a victim, not a threat. His fingers hovered over the send button. Doubts filled his mind. What if the Council ignored him? What if they saw Zarek only as a monster and not as a living being in pain? But Ben knew he had to try. The truth needed to be heard. He looked at Zarek resting nearby. The dragon's eyes met his, full of silent hope. "I'm sending it," Ben said softly. Ben activated the transmitter. The message traveled through space, jumping from satellite to satellite, until it reached the Council's main station. Minutes later, a response came. The message was cold and clear. "Your claims are unverified. Zarek remains a danger. Prepare for immediate capture or termination." Ben felt his heart sink. He turned off the screen. "They don't believe us," he whispered. Zarek growled softly, as if angry. Ben stood up, pacing the small room. "We need another plan," he said. "We can't fight the whole council." Ben decided to visit an old friend, Mira, a skilled negotiator known for her fairness and wisdom. She lived on the neutral planet of Elara, a place where many factions met for talks. Ben hoped Mira could help him reach those who would listen. He prepared the ship and set a course for Elara. Zarok stayed quiet, but alert. The journey was long, but peaceful. As they approached Elara, Ben saw the planet's blue and green surface shining in the sunlight. He landed near the city where Mira lived. Ben contacted her immediately. "Mira, it's Ben. I need your help." The reply came quickly. "Meet me at the council hall. We must talk." At the council hall, Ben and Zarek waited. The building was tall and grand, filled with many beings from different planets. Mira arrived, her calm eyes studying them carefully. "Ben," she said, "I have heard stories about Zarek. Some believe he is dangerous, others think differently." Ben nodded. "The implants control him. They made him aggressive. The Dominion wants to use him as a weapon." Mira listened carefully. "This is serious," she said. "But the council will not easily change their mind." Mira arranged a meeting with a small group of council members who were open to hearing Ben's story. Ben told everything: the implants, the Dominion, Zarok's pain, and the danger of letting powerful creatures be controlled by machines. Zarek stood quietly nearby, its golden eyes calm but watchful. The council members asked questions, some skeptical, others curious. Ben answered honestly, showing the data and the implants. After hours of discussion, the council was divided. Some wanted to continue the hunt for ZA or OK. Others believed Ben and Mira's warnings and wanted a chance for peace. Mira spoke strongly. "We must not judge Zarek by fear. We must find the truth and stop the Dominion." Her words brought hope. Suddenly, an alarm sounded in the hall. A messenger arrived, breathless. "The Dominion ships are approaching Elora," he said. "They seek Zarek." Ben's heart pounded. "We must protect the council and Zarek," Mira said. The group quickly prepared defenses. The Dominion's fleet appeared above the city, shining and powerful. Their ships moved fast, aiming to capture Zarek by force. Ben looked at Zarek. "Are you ready?" The dragon stood tall, spreading its wings. Together, they prepared to defend the city and prove the truth. The battle began. The Dominion ships fired energy beams, but Ben and Zarek worked as a team. Ben piloted the ship, dodging attacks. Zarek used its strength and fire to defend the city and protect the people. The city's defenders joined the fight, surprising the attackers. As the fight went on, Ben found a way to hack into the Dominion's control systems, using his skills. He sent a virus that disrupted the implants on Zarek and other controlled creatures. The Dominion's grip weakened. Zarek roared loudly, breaking free from the last chains. The Dominion's fleet retreated, defeated for now. The city was safe. The council members cheered. Mira smiled at Ben. "You did it." Ben looked at Zarek. "We did it." After the battle, the council agreed to stop hunting Zarek. They promised to investigate the Dominion and help free others controlled by implants. Ben and Zarek were no longer fugitives, but heroes. As the stars shone brightly, Ben and Zarek looked toward the future. The fight was not over, but hope had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same. The victory at Elora had brought hope to many. The Galactic Council now listened to Ben and Mira, and Zarek was finally seen as more than just a dangerous creature. But Ben knew their battle was far from over. The Dominion was still out there strong, secretive, and dangerous. Ben stood on the observation deck of the council's ship, staring out at the stars. Zarek sat nearby, quietly watching. The dragon's wings were folded, but Ben could feel the strength waiting to be unleashed. Mira joined them. "The Dominion controls many worlds," she said. "They use fear and machines to control powerful beings like Zarek. If we want to stop them, we must go to their home." Ben nodded. "We need to find their base, destroy their control systems." Zarek growled softly, ready to fight. The council gave Ben and Mira a small ship and a team of skilled pilots and engineers. Ben studied the data carefully, trying to find the location of the Dominion's stronghold. After days of searching, a hidden planet appeared on the scanners. It was dark and covered in thick metal forests, machines, and factories as far as the eye could see. "This is it," Ben said. "The heart of the Dominion." The team landed on the planet's surface. The air was thick with smoke and the sound of machines. Ben, Mira, and the pilots moved carefully through the metal jungle. They knew the Dominion's guards would be waiting. Suddenly, robots appeared, blocking their path. Prepare for battle, Ben said. Zarok stepped forward, spreading his wings. The fight was fierce. Robots fired lasers, but Zarok's powerful body blocked many attacks. Ben and the team used their tools and weapons to disable the machines. Together, they moved deeper into the factories. Ben's heart beat fast. This was the place where the implants were made, the place that controlled Zarok's pain. In the center of the complex, they found a huge control room. Screens showed many creatures trapped by the implants. Ben's eyes filled with anger. "We have to free them," he said. Mira nodded. "And stop the Dominion for good." Ben connected his datapad to the control panel. The machines resisted, but Ben's skills were strong. He began to upload the virus he had created at Elara, designed to shut down the control systems. Alarms sounded. The Dominion's leader appeared on a large screen. "You cannot stop us," the leader said coldly. "We control power. We control fear." Ben stared at the screen. Not anymore. The virus spread through the system. One by one, the machines controlling the creatures shut down. The creatures moved freely again. Some looked weak and scared, but others roared with relief. Zarok let out a great roar, proud and free. The Dominion's leader tried to fight back, but the system was crashing. Robots began to fall. Ben and the team escaped as the factory started to collapse. Back on the ship, Ben looked at Zarok. "We did it," he said. Zarok's golden eyes shone bright, full of life. Mira smiled. "The galaxy is safer now," but Ben knew their work was not finished. There were still many creatures under control. The Dominion was broken, but its shadow remained. Ben looked to the stars, ready for the next challenge. Together, he and Zarok would bring freedom to the galaxy. He battled on the Dominion's planet was over, but the galaxy was still healing. News of Ben and Zarok's victories spread quickly. Many beings who had been controlled by implants were now free. The Galactic Council promised to help rebuild and protect those who suffered. Ben and Zarok became symbols of hope. But peace did not come easily. There were still places where the Dominion's influence lingered. Hidden bases, secret agents, and machines waiting to rise again. Ben knew their fight was not finished. Back on their ship, Ben looked at the stars with Zarok by his side. "We have done a lot," Ben said softly, "but there is more to do." Zarok nuzzled Ben's hand gently. The bond between them was strong, now no longer just mechanic and dragon, but friends and allies. Mira contacted them from the council. "We have found new leads on hidden implant factories," she said. "Your help is needed again." Ben nodded. "We will be there." They traveled to distant worlds, freeing creatures trapped by the implants. Each time, Zarok's strength and Ben's skill helped them overcome dangers. On one icy planet, they freed a giant creature whose scales glittered like ice. On a desert world, they saved a winged beast that soared again into the sky. With every victory, the galaxy's hope grew. More beings joined their cause. Together, they formed a group called the Free Guardians, protectors of freedom and justice. Ben became a leader, known for his courage and kindness. Zarok was his powerful companion, proud and fierce but gentle to those they protected. One day, while resting on a quiet planet, Ben looked at Zarok and smiled. "We have changed so much," he said. "From a mechanic and a hunted dragon to heroes." Zarok's golden eyes shone warmly. But Ben also remembered the lessons learned. He knew that power must be used wisely, and that even the smallest voice can change the future. The Galactic Council recognized their efforts and began new laws to stop the use of implants as weapons. They promised to protect all creatures, big and small. Ben's message was clear: every life matters. Every creature deserves respect and freedom. As the stars twinkled above, Ben and Zarok looked forward to a new beginning. Together, they would keep the galaxy safe, not with fear, but with hope. And so, a human mechanic and an alien dragon showed the universe that even the most unlikely friends could change the fate of many.